All the girlies want the rich, Porsche, Pilates mom lifestyle where they drive a nice car. I've started the largest #1 women's sales academy where I've taught over 9,000 students.
You are in your prime. You have so much power to work hard.
A woman paid $6,000 to learn how to sell. 3 weeks later, she couldn't get a refund, couldn't get a reply, and couldn't find the coach who promised to change her life. She's not alone. Now, the person they're all talking about is facing a lawsuit seeking over $10 million. On most of Young Women's For You newsfeed, she's living the dream. A luxury apartment, a nice car, claims she went from broke to 6 figures through remote sales, and she'll teach you how.
How do you do all of this? And my answer is I didn't do any of it. I literally didn't do a thing.
That's Shelby Sapp, also known as Shelby Haas. She built She Sells Academy by promising young women a way out of the 9-to-5. But critics say the story she's selling isn't the one that actually happened. By the end of this video, you'll hear a former business partner, another creator, and former students describe the same pattern. And the emails may be the biggest clue of all. Let's talk numbers first, because this is where it gets interesting. When She Sells Academy launched, the course was around $3,000. Then it became $4,000, then $5,000. As of recent reports, some tiers are running close to $6,000. And some students say that after week 16, you get cut off from the community unless you pay an extra $200 a month to stay in. So ask yourself, if the system works this well, why does staying inside it cost extra? That question is going to matter a lot more in about 90 seconds. And here's something that a lot of people don't realize.
I was like, in sales, you have to perform no matter what. And sometimes when you're sad or when you're depressed or if something happens and you're just not in the best mental state, like you have to be able to turn it on.
The pricing didn't creep up slowly over the years. It climbed suspiciously fast, within roughly a year of launch. That's typical for a business testing how far it can push before demand drops. If you've ever watched a company raise prices every single quarter, you already know exactly what that usually means for the people buying in early versus the people buying in now. She Sells Academy teaches something called remote closing or high-ticket sales, basically selling other people's expensive courses and programs from your laptop for a commission. On paper, that's a real job. People do make money doing it. But here's what a lot of reviewers are pointing out. Multiple sources, including comments from actual students, claim that fewer than 1% of She Sells Academy students ever earn meaningful income from the program. Not zero, but close enough that it should worry you. And on Trustpilot, where the course sits at a solid 4.6 out of 5 stars from over 200 reviews, you'll find something strange buried in the comments. Praise sitting right next to accusations, people calling it life-changing, and other people calling it, word for word, a scam.
She's out here living her best life while selling the dream. But we all know what this is. Classic course selling scam with a sorority girl filter.
Same company. Wildly different experiences. That gap is where this story lives. Some of the negative reviews mention something specific, generic training material that students say they later found floating around elsewhere online, under different names. Others describe a support system that goes quiet the moment your card gets charged. One reviewer described trying to get a refund and getting passed between 3 different people before simply giving up. Now, is that unusual for a big online coaching business? Honestly, no. A lot of course creators run exactly like this. But most of them aren't also facing a $10 million lawsuit from the person who allegedly helped build the whole operation. That's where this stops being just another course controversy. Now, here's where this stops being bad reviews and becomes something much bigger. In September 2024, Georgi Stoitsev, better known as George, filed a lawsuit against Shelby Sapp in Miami-Dade County, Florida. His claim, he and Shelby were 50-50 partners, in a company they built together called Girl Sales Boss. According to the lawsuit, George built the training systems, ran operations, and managed the client database. Shelby brought the face and the followers. Together, the lawsuit says they built a business worth real money. Then on August 18, 2024, George says Shelby called and ended the partnership. About 30 hours later, according to court filings, she launched a competing company called She Sells Remote. Its first webinar allegedly drew 30,000 attendees and generated over $1 million in sales in one night. George says he's owed 50%. Across everything since, he's suing for more than $10 million. But here's what makes this feel like more than a business dispute. The lawsuit alleges that roughly 2 months before ending the partnership, Airbnb influencer Blake Rocha offered Shelby a new deal: 65% ownership of a new company, no profit sharing, and up to $150,000 a month. If that timeline holds up, Shelby was allegedly negotiating a better deal for 2 months while George kept working, believing they were still equal partners. That's the part that stings most. Not the money, the timing. To be fair, Shelby's side disputes those claims. Her lawyers argue there was never a legally binding partnership with George, no signed contract, and no official ownership split. And that matters. In business, a handshake and a signed agreement aren't the same in court. But George's lawyers point to an email allegedly written by Shelby saying she was ending her ownership in the business immediately. If there was no partnership, why end your ownership? In January 2025, the judge denied Shelby's motion to dismiss. The case is still active and in discovery. That means both sides must turn over emails, texts, financial records, contracts, everything. If more evidence like that email exists, discovery is where it will surface. This story isn't over. It's just getting started. George isn't the only person publicly questioning Shelby's brand. Creator Brooke Triplett has alleged online that Shelby copied parts of her business, including the course concept, branding, fonts, and logo style.
They launched it. She was putting up posters on the wall that was like, she sells, everywhere, just she sells. And I'm like, that's my name, that's my font. Like,
That's
she
yours.
did
Yeah.
the same brand shoot as me, like to a T. She had a little old phone like I had used too.
Nothing has been confirmed in court, but it's another independent criticism. Then there are Shelby's sales claims. Before launching her courses, she worked in door-to-door pest control sales. Some former colleagues and online critics have questioned whether those reported results match the way they're marketed. None of this has been proven in court. But when different people raise similar concerns, it becomes harder to dismiss as random. There's also Shelby's public image. Her brand leans heavily on the girl boss lifestyle, including her brief engagement to fitness influencer Alex Eubank, which ended after about a week. By itself, that's not unusual. Relationships end. But when your product is trust me, follow my system, believe my numbers, a pattern of big public claims followed by quiet reversals is worth paying attention to. So why does this pitch work so well with young women? Because it's not really selling a sales course. It's selling an identity. Freedom from your boss, money without a degree, a community of women who get it. That's a powerful offer to someone who feels stuck. And the people defending Shelby online aren't necessarily wrong. Some did make money. There are real testimonials, real success stories, and students who now coach inside the program. But a program can have real winners and still take far more money than it gives back. Both can be true. That's how many high-ticket coaching businesses work. A small, visible group of success stories, supported by a much larger, quieter group you never hear from. Show one student making $20,000, and that video can attract 1,000 new signups. You never need to show the other 999. Success stories spread, failure stories don't. What you see online is the highlight reel, not the full picture. That's not unique to Shelby. It's common across the coaching industry. She's just one of the most visible examples because of her audience and because a lawsuit is bringing details into public view. Thinking about buying a course like this? Here's a quick checklist. 1. If the price keeps rising every few months, that's not the market. It's testing how much people will pay. 2. Skip the star rating. Read the 1-star reviews. 3. Ask for numbers. Not students earn 6 figures. Ask what percentage actually do. 4. Search the name plus lawsuit before spending $1. 30 seconds could save you thousands. 5. Watch how they handle criticism. Shelby's team has called negative reviews simply false without addressing the specific claims. Broad denials without specifics are worth noticing. 6. Beware of urgency. Doors closing, price goes up soon, limited spots. These tactics are meant to stop you from researching before you buy. The lawsuit against Shelby Sapp is still active. No verdict. Nothing has been proven in court. But the pricing, the complaints, and the allegations from a former business partner are all worth knowing before you hand over your card. Whatever happens in court, She Sells Academy is still enrolling students today. The lawsuit hasn't stopped the business, so the responsibility to ask tough questions starts with you. If you made it this far, you know why this channel exists. Would you trust a course that keeps raising its price every few months? Subscribe because the next story is even more surprising.